Okay, I know what you're thinking. Dotzer, you think the Jaylen Brown trade to the Sixers was good? You think that was a good trade? You think it makes sense? Well, no, I don't, but there are some people who do. But first, let me hate. So we were all dropped with the bomb of Jaylen Brown traded to the 76ers, the team that Jaylen Brown just blew a 3-1 lead to in the NBA playoffs, pulling a KD. He is joining them for Paul George and some picks. And I'm sure we all kind of had the same reaction, which is, what are the Celtics doing? Literally taking themselves from contenders to maybe a play-in team. This is actually insane, trading Jaylen Brown for Paul George and picks. What a terrible trade. This is like the Luka trade level bad. Especially when you had offers from other teams like the Blazers, which was Shaedon Sharpe, Drew Holiday, and picks. Maybe even Scoot Henderson, Toumani Camara could be thrown in there, switched and swapped. And that's just a way better return than Paul George. There were also rumors of Trey Murphy going to the Celtics for Jaylen Brown going to the Pelicans, and that's still a way better swap than Paul George. Guys, Paul George really in the big 2026? Who has one of the worst contracts in the NBA. Some executives viewed this as such a negative contract that the Sixers would have to give up assets in order to get off Paul George just to maybe get him off the team. It wouldn't be that easy, but they get back Jaylen Brown? It all makes sense. Brad Stevens wins Executive of the Year, and then he knows that he has to tank his stock, so he maybe doesn't get... this doesn't make any sense. Just what? Guys, there's so many other what ifs. The Celtics, Pistons, and Rockets discussed a 3-team trade that would send Şengün to Boston, KD to Detroit, and Jaylen Brown to Houston. Obviously that's a crazy trade, never happened, but it would be way better than what did happen. So first, let's talk a little bit more about the Celtics and them getting Paul George in return for Jaylen Brown. It's basically a 1-for-1 swap. The Celtics are also getting some picks, but player win now wise, this is just a terrible move. Someone who's been injured a bunch in their last couple of seasons, only 37 games played last season, 17 points per game on 44% from the field, 39% from the three, but guys, he is an aging player. And Jaylen Brown, 71 games played, he was an MVP talks for most of the season, All-NBA second team, 29 points per game on 47-35 shooting. Guys, this is ridiculous numbers from Jaylen Brown. He was a top 10 player this last season, and he's got traded for Paul George. Not to mention, a bunch of people thought it was going to be a gap year for the Celtics, and Jaylen Brown brought them to a 50-win season, and without Tatum as well. Tatum's not playing this whole season, and they're still that good. Paul George's career is kind of a meme at this point. There's people dropping 13-minute videos on him getting game winners hit on him, and now he's been a part of two of the worst trades in NBA history, the SGA to OKC trade with all those picks, and now Jaylen Brown straight up swapped to the Sixers. The Sixers are title contenders now. And I'm making this video a day after the trade because I want to wait for more info to come out and stuff like this. Anthony Simons signs a deal with the Sixers. Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, VJ Edgecombe, and Joel Embiid. That four is insane. Those are four all-star level players. Obviously VJ not yet, but I think we all expect him to be an all-star level player soon on one team. And Anthony Simons is going to be coming off the bench for this team, and I'm a Blazers fan. I've watched him. This guy can shoot the three. He's a great guy to bring off the bench. He can handle the ball. He's not a good defender, but if they need an offensive spark, which I really don't think they will, maybe some offensive aid, they just want to blow out a team, he can come in and help with that. And yes, this team did just get swept by the Knicks, but the Knicks went on an amazing run and won the NBA Finals, and the Sixers beat the Celtics, coming back down 3-1 without Embiid for the whole series. Now you're adding a Finals MVP to that team. I think the sky is the limit for them. And yes, they missed out on re-signing Kelly Oubre, but the bench is a lot to be desired for this team. I don't think that they're done though. They're going to keep making moves, but if they don't fill out the roster the way we think, I do still think this team is a title contender. Okay, now to the moment we've all been waiting for, the Celtics. Why did they do this trade? What is going on behind the scenes to make them do this trade? Well, I feel like after waiting a day after this trade happened, we have some more information. So let's read this tweet. People in the NBA believe Jaylen Brown has a disease where he thinks he's the smartest person in the room. I had two NBA sources, two people in the league, one an executive and one a scout, say that Jaylen Brown has It's a disease. He suddenly thinks he's the smartest guy in every room he's in. You make a lot of money, suddenly you're absolutely sure you don't want to listen to your bosses. You don't want to listen to consultants. You don't want to listen to teammates. And yeah, we've seen Jaylen Brown go up and make presentations, and this has been memed 1,000 times, but I mean, he is a pretty smart guy. Before the NBA, this guy was going to MIT, Harvard, teaching lessons, speaking, language, and interests. I mean, he's kind of all over the place. He's definitely an academic weapon. He actually got an internship offer at NASA, dude. This guy is literally him when it comes to academics, so no wonder he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, because he probably is, at least when it comes to non-basketball stuff. And look at this, I mean, after this season, All-NBA second team, 29 points per game, MVP candidate, he probably thought that the Celtics needed him more than he needed the Celtics, obviously also because Tatum wasn't even playing that season. So maybe it kind of got to his head and he was being toxic in the locker room. And obviously we've seen the streams, we've seen the clips of Jaylen Brown streaming on Twitch saying things that maybe he should not be saying. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that he's going on and he's voicing his voice. He's not really afraid of anybody. And obviously Jaylen Brown won the 2024 Finals MVP and all of that, but I feel like the league-wide consensus is that this is Tatum's team, and that's why everyone had the expectation of the gap year going into the season when Tatum was out, and then Jaylen Brown elevated, and so maybe he feels like it's his team, and that definitely can build some tension between two players. And obviously, I don't have any sources. I don't know anything if this is actually true, but my deductive reasoning is telling me that maybe these two were not getting along near the end of the season, and that might be one of the reasons they blew a 3-1 lead in the playoffs. The chemistry was gone. And also, the Celtics apparently thought that Derek White had a better season than Jaylen Brown, and the Celtics kind of thought that. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what Brian Windhorst said, and he has all these sources, so if the Celtics really did believe that, this trade makes more sense. But I really need a hit of whatever the Celtics are on, bro. Derek White shot 32% from 3 and 39% from the field in the regular season. Yeah, he was all defensive first team, but that's terrible efficiency. How could you think that he had a better season than Jaylen Brown? Okay, this is all making sense why the Celtics would trade Jaylen Brown now. They think that Peyton Pritchard can have a leap and be like Jalen Brunson. Dude, okay, this is actually insane. I don't know who hijacked the Celtics front office, who started giving them out crazy acid trips, but this is insane. How could you be thinking that Derek White had a better season than Jaylen Brown, and then now you think that Peyton Pritchard could become Jalen Brunson? And I love PP. The dude's from Oregon. He's from my home state. I mean, I love him. He could start on a lot of teams. He's 6th Man of the Year winner, 17 points per game on 37-46. I mean, this is not bad, but you thinking he could become the Finals MVP? Come on. It's made sense to me that Jaylen Brown just didn't fit in the locker room anymore with the Celtics. That's the only reason this makes sense. They had better offers from other places. They took the Philly offer. I don't really understand why, but Jaylen Brown, they didn't like him in the locker room. They felt like he had too much of an ego. They wanted him gone. They feel like Derek White had a better season than him. They felt like Peyton Pritchard could take a step up and I guess be the best player in the league. I don't really know what's going on with the Celtics front office, but I guess we kind of have more reasoning why this trade was done, because I wanted to make a video reacting to the trade immediately, but then I was like, let me wait a little bit, get some more information, and deliver a great product to the Dotzer subscribers. And that's you guys. I love you all. Let's hit 10K by August. We can do it. Like the video. Let's hit 500 likes on this video. Hype the video. Love you all. Peace.